the Saturday night main event between the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills, the trilogy fight here in 2021-2022 season. This is a split series as of this moment, as the Patriots got the better of the Bills in Buffalo with 50-mile-per-hour winds and Mac Jones throwing a total of 3 passes. The second time around, though, it was the Josh Allen All-American Bowl, as Josh Allen went crazy. Josh Allen was dominating the Patriots, and Josh Allen showed why he's the ultimate X factor in this matchup between these two teams. Currently, this is a 4-point line in favor of Buffalo. The Patriots, while they did have that hot stretch in the middle there, 6-7 straight wins, they have started to falter here in the last part of the season. Obviously, losses to the Colts, losses to the Bills, and even in week 18, a loss to the Miami Dolphins. So the Patriots, well, they've had moments of their defense obviously being elite this season. In the last few weeks, we haven't quite seen the same unit show up to play. So what are we going to see this Saturday, Kyle?
Well, in the point of the New England Patriots, I have been saying for 12 weeks, it's getting really obnoxious at the end. But the whole way through, I said, if you line up the 14 teams that are probably going to make the playoffs in all of the NFL, the Patriots have the lowest upside offense. They have the lowest upside offense in the NFL. Now they have the second lowest upside offense because the goddamn Steelers are in the playoffs now. And that is the worst offense maybe in the entire league other than the Jacksonville Jaguars. But at the same point, the New England Patriots have a low upside offense. And that's something that was always going to come back to hurt them. It came back to hurt them against Miami when they lose the game. Why? Because Mac Jones made the most rookie mistake ever of getting head faked by Xavier Howard, one of the best corners in the NFL. Is just an easy pick six going back. Like the Dolphins and Patriots, similar on paper. Pick six goes the Dolphins' way. Boom, Miami is going to end up winning that football game. What's interesting about this one is, do the Patriots dictate it the way they want to play the game? It's going to be 8 degrees. It's going to be overcast in Buffalo. No snow, no rain, just 8 degrees in January in Buffalo, which means the Patriots are going to run the holy shit out of this football. Like Bill Belichick is just going to go back to like 1940s wing tee and just power run up the middle the entire game with an occasional toss pitch mixed in between. We already know that's going to happen. Buffalo knows it's going to happen. Buffalo just doesn't have a good rush defense. So it's going to kind of be like the end of that Chargers-Raiders game for 4 quarters, where it's like, we know the Patriots are going to run the ball. We've set out our run defense. Who's going to stop who? Because the Patriots have an okay rushing attack. It's overperformed this year because the offensive line was better than we thought, and they've been semi-respectable offensively. So the Patriots have overperformed running the ball this year to expectations, and Buffalo struggles to stop the run. So it's just going to be, push comes to shove. That's how the Patriots are going to go. They're going to hold the ball probably for like 35 of the 60 minutes. They're going to try and win time of possession there. Where things get interesting is on the flip side, which is we are so accustomed to Bill Belichick taking away your best weapon. And that is obviously Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is obviously the go-to guy. And Stephon Diggs quietly had the most touchdowns he's ever had in his career this year with 10. He had 1,200 yards and 100 receptions. Just the quietest 1,200-yard season ever for Stephon Diggs, because it wasn't the 1,600-yard crazy season that he had last year when Buffalo had like the second-ranked offense in the NFL. So we assume, because Bill Belichick is really smart, that he's going to find a game plan to take away Stephon Diggs. And he's going to say, it's not going to be Diggs that beats us. We dare you to beat us with Dawson Knox. We dare you to beat us with Gabe Davis is kind of the go-to there. That's an interesting point as well for this game. There's another interesting part that comes in later, which is in the last 3 games of the season, non-Patriots for the Buffalo Bills, because that Patriots game, they just threw it the entire game because the Patriots didn't have any way to stop them passing the ball. They just kicked ass throwing the football. In the other 3 games they finished the year, which was, I believe, the Jets, the Panthers, and I think it was the Falcons maybe, but again, not great teams was the point I was saying, not great teams. Devin Singletary carried the ball an average of 21 times in those 3 games. Prior to those 3 games, Devin Singletary had an average of 8 carries per game. He had 21 in the last 3 games. He rushed for an average of 90 yards and had 4 touchdowns in 3 games. yes, against bad defenses. But the point that's more interesting is that Buffalo really wants to commit to running the football because they know one-dimensional offense is way easier to take out. So if the Patriots say they're going to take out Stephon Diggs, if they can move the ball running it, it makes their chances a lot better because Buffalo has a really, really good offense and the Patriots have a really, really mediocre offense. And this is where Buffalo's advantage is. It's why Buffalo's a favorite in this game. And it's why, reluctantly, I am picking the Buffalo Bills at home to defeat the New England Patriots. And there's a reason I'm rooting for the Patriots, because if Buffalo wins, it means there is a 100% guarantee that either the Raiders, Bengals, or Titans are going to play in the AFC Championship. And Lord knows I don't want that to happen. So hopefully the Patriots win that so that we can get Patriots Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. If not, this is the game of the weekend. Like this is like basically a second round matchup in the first round, just because of the way the playoff bracket drew. One of these teams belongs in the conference championship.
Break out the wetsuit for Mac Jones, because the weather in Buffalo is looking like partly cloudy with a high of 10 and a low of 5 degrees. So should be some fun January playoff weather out there in Buffalo, New York. When it comes to this matchup, obviously, two elite defenses you have on both sides. As you mentioned, though, can Buffalo commit to the run? You said Devin Singletary has been more productive for them, but in that Patriots game, he had the same amount of carries as Josh Allen, but Josh Allen was more efficient with those carries. Josh Allen, when he does everything for this team, it's a good thing, but it's also a problematic thing for the Bills offense. As you mentioned, we've talked about the difference between low upside offense and a one-dimensional offense like the Bills have. And there is definitely some drawbacks there. What burned them in the last game is Isaiah McKenzie actually had the better day between them and Stephon Diggs. McKenzie's come on strong in the latter half of the season. Emmanuel Sanders, I know, was dealing with an injury. I don't know if he is going to be out there on Saturday. Cole Beasley, of course, also has been a huge playmaker for them. I want to say he missed that game with COVID, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was the game that he was correct. Out on that particular one. So yes, now that the Bills have their full complement of weapons, certainly they're not going to be handicapped going into this game. Third matchup around, it's hard for me to not go with the coach I have more faith in. Mac Jones down the stretch has really given me a lot of cause for concern when it comes to the Patriots, and having any level of faith in this offense to do anything, I know it's more than likely I won't be rewarded. But if they could just pound the rock with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, I think they'll be fine. I think that they'll be able to put up more than enough points on the Buffalo Bills, control the clock, keep it out of Josh Allen's hand, make it very difficult and make it come down to 2 or 3 chunk plays. And that's why I'm going to go with the Patriots. I think that this is going to be one of those games where it's literally going to be a 40 carry output by the Patriots backfield. I don't feel great about it in the same way that you reluctantly talk about picking the Buffalo Bills here. I don't feel great about it. Like you said, these teams are pretty evenly matched at the end of the day. They've had their highs in the season. They've had their lows. And I guess I'm just going with experience. I still believe in that Patriots brand.
This is going to be the most fun game of the weekend. No ifs, no ands, no buts. This game is going to be so much fun. As Seth Wickersham talked about in his amazing book, that if you're a football nerd like me, you want to read this Seth Wickersham book. It's like 19 hours long, but it's really good. The first rule of Belichick is don't give Belichick a second chance. If you limit Belichick's chances to beat you, you're going to have a chance to beat Belichick, especially when you have the more talented team than Belichick, which I know the Patriots defense is really good, but Buffalo has a more talented team than the New England Patriots. And Josh Allen, no turnovers. You can do punt turnovers. You can do the 50-yard passes down the field interceptions. Those won't kill you. No fumbles, no missed throws on a screen pass, no missed throws on a slant, no turnovers, because you have to play a mistake-free game. Otherwise, you're going to lose because the margins are just so close in this game. So Josh Allen, no real turnovers. You can do, like I said, you can do the 50-yard farted out your butt pass down the field that gets intercepted by Adrian Phillips, but no real true turnovers in this game.
You're not talking about doing a do-si-do in the backfield, rotating to his left, spin out right, sprint right option, double left, fake it, juke, toss it up, and just comes down in JC Jackson's hands?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. It's just don't do the thing you did 2 years ago where you tried to pitch the ball when running for a first down against the Texans. Just no mistakes. If you do no mistakes, your team is good enough to win. Just don't give Belichick more chances.